Welcome to my YouTube channel. We'll kick off by opening up the Blender software. I hope the short video I posted last week explains what we'll be doing today. I'll turn on my screencast key for a better follow-up. It's advisable to work with a reference image whenever you're trying to model or sculpt to reduce mistakes and ensure a nice workflow. You can get a reference image online using your preferred browser. Place your reference image at the middle of the workspace in the Blender interface. Now, it is time to model the can, add a mesh, a cylinder, and reduce its vertices to 17. Modeling an object could be boring at times, in the aspect of scaling and extruding, so just follow up. Then add a subdivision surface modifier to make the model look smooth. Don't mind me cause I didn't model the top of the can, and this is because this part won't be visible at the end of this project.
Purchase your track today.
Let's give the model can a material or texture. It's advisable to split the screen of the Blender interface into different layers to have a nice workflow. Apply a new material to the can drink, add an image texture and connect it to the material output. Split the screen vertically, change from 3D viewport to UV editor. Open the label image you want to use. Change the viewport shading color from material to texture to make the label image visible. Apply the subdivision surface modifier to create more vertices. Select the part you actually want the label to appear on your model.
Purchase your track today.
Assign the materials correctly, to avoid mistakes. Then, apply a cylinder projection UV mapping. Change its direction to align to object. Go on by scaling and moving the UV mapped object, to make the label fit. Make sure you take your time.
Purchase your track today.
Let's apply some material nodes to make the can look realistic. Follow up with the steps to have a perfect result.
Purchase your track today. Purchase your track today.
Create a new collection for fluid simulation. Name your work to make it look easier. It's time to apply the fluid simulation splash effect. Reduce the scale of the can to the normal dimension of a can drink. Add a mesh, a cube. Then apply physics properties, click on fluid, change the fluid type to domain. Apply a perfect scale. Make sure the cube bottom part is placed at the bottom of the can drink, so that the fluid won't fall beyond the bottom of the can. Then, add another mesh, a UV sphere, apply a good scale, until it becomes invisible. Drag the sphere to the back of the can drink, make sure it's still inside the domain.
Purchase your track today.
Apply a physics property, click on fluid, change the fluid type to flow, then put the flow type to liquid and the flow behavior at inflow, cause we want a constant flow. Apply a physics property, click on fluid, change the fluid type to effector, make sure the effector type is in collision, click on the domain, change the domain type to liquid, turn on the mesh and click on is resumable. Play your animation by pressing the spacebar key or the play button. It keeps falling down as it is a nice inflow. We want to make the liquid shoot at the can drink, select the sphere, and select initial velocity. I had to change the initial x velocity, cause the liquid needs to splash along the x-axis. Change the time scale, to make the splash move at a slower rate. Note, a little change in your physics property settings will make the changes you made visible.
Purchase your track today.
Now, we need to bake the liquid. You can change your cache file if you want, then change the type to all. The end frame is important also. I changed the resolution to 128 to make the splash look better. Depending on the capacity of your PC, it might make your PC slow. Then click on bake all. If you want to bake further you can, just change the end frame to your preferred frame and click on resume. Apply shade smooth to the liquid splash to make it look smooth. Camera setup, go to the front view of the can drink. Then click the camera, go to view, then to align view, then click on align camera to view. This never works perfectly, so change the z-axis location to 0 meters. Change the resolution to that of a mobile phone resolution, 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels. Align the camera view properly to fit well. Our model looks fake cause the render engine is set to heavy, so we'll change it to cycles to make it look real. Have the Blender screen interface split it into different layers for a nice workflow. lighting kinda sucks, so we'll go to world and add an environment texture, join it together with the background and add an HDRI image. Now, the lighting kinda looks way better. However, I want to create a little studio, cause I don't really want to see the HDRI image as the background. Add a mesh, a cube, scale it up and delete those two vertices up there, select this edge loop, then go into the item and increase the bevel weight all the way to 1, underneath the edge data. Now, we can add a modifier, which is going to be the bevel modifier. You can set the amount and segments as high as you want. Make sure you right click and shade smooth. However, make sure the studio is just as big as the camera view, cause we don't want the HDRI visible, so scale it bigger. Then go to the front view and put the studio in position at the bottom of the can drink.
Purchase your track today.
So, select the splash and change it from world to object, create a new material, then roughness goes all the way to 0 and transmission to 1, then change its IOR to 1.333 and also change its base color. It still looks boring, so go back to world and reduce its background strength down a bit. Then go ahead by adding decent lighting, to create nice looking reflections to the can drink. You can see me changing the view transform from filmic to false color, to see how well the light falls on the can drink.
Purchase your track today.
If you're happy with the position of the light, go back to object and click on use nodes. You can play around with the strength. Follow up with the process. You can see me changing the view transform from filmic to false color, to see how well the light falls on the can drink. Place a point light to the back of the drink perfectly, use nodes to increase the strength of its emission and increase its radius. This will make the splash drink pop out, because the light comes from the back. Play around with them to get a desired result. Name your lights, for quick recognition.
Purchase your track today.
The studio background color looks overkilled, so assign a new material, and reduce its color down a bit, to make your work look decent. Before rendering, work around with the output and render settings. If you got any questions, just in case you seem to be confused while working on your project, drop your questions under the comment section, and I'll respond to you as fast as I can.
Purchase your track today.
Save your project and click on render. After rendering, save your project as an image. Taking your time to watch this tutorial shows you are actually determined to learn this Blender 3D idea and trick. Thanks for your patience. Please, like this tutorial video, comment and most importantly, subscribe and turn on the notification button if you are yet to do that. Thanks for following up, have a nice day.